What's up everyone, welcome back to another What If video. Last time, we began the Android saga and saw what happened when this new group of Z-Fighters first encountered the androids. With Chi-Chi around during training, she made sure Goku took the heart virus medicine as soon as he started showing signs of the virus beforehand, meaning Goku never actually fell ill to the virus. However, this meant that the androids had Goku right where they needed him, but thanks to Tien and Krillin's quick thinking, the group was able to stun the androids and leave for the lookout, with the androids now confused as to where everyone went. We ended off with the group arriving at the lookout, and strap yourselves in because we have a lot of shenanigans going on here with the Room of Spirit and Time. There's going to be a lot going on here. At the lookout, Kami informs everyone that they should head into the Room of Spirit and Time immediately, with Goku remembering it from when he was a child. He knows how effective it is, and he's glad Kami called them up here. The androids are way too strong, and no one right now can actually face them, but maybe this would actually help them. However, it's a little odd this time deciding who will go inside, and you'll see what I mean as we get into it. Given how prevalent the humans are in the story, everyone is motivated to train in here and help out. The people who need the most training though are Goku, Raditz, Gohan, and Trunks. Chi-Chi, Piccolo, and Krillin want to go in as well. So first, Goku ends up going in with Gohan and Chi-Chi. It's basically like a family vacation of sorts, just a really weird one. Both Goku and Chi-Chi know that she's a little bit behind, so Goku decides it would be best to get her to catch up first, and she agrees, obviously. Goku's goal for himself is to access a level beyond Super Saiyan, and he feels like, no matter who he goes in with, he might be able to increase his power just because of how effective the training is. And having Gohan there is good too, obviously, because Gohan would be a strong training partner, and the two of them could work together and both access a higher level of Super Saiyan. So without hesitation, these three are the first to go in. The only issue is that there's not enough food. With some help from Popo and Kami, they're able to get some more food in there to feed the three of them, but they're going to end up leaving a bit early because of this, as well as a few other reasons that I'll get into later. So who's next? Well, Raditz would go in with Trunks because they're the next strongest, but their dynamic is a little weird right now, and spending a year together isn't really what they want to do. This version of Trunks isn't really the future version of Raditz's son, it's a version of Trunks with Vegeta as his father. This was equally weird for both Raditz and Trunks, and both are just kinda, well, uncomfortable at the thought of training together for a year. Understandably, it's very awkward. But luckily, there's an easy solution for right now. For Raditz, he's gonna go in with Piccolo, given the two of them are good training partners and good friends. As for Piccolo, he actually doesn't merge with Kami at the moment. Yeah, Piccolo is still his original self and never merged with Nail, so the idea doesn't really even pop in his head. Kami doesn't bring it up either, even though he might know it. On the other hand, Trunks decides to head in with Krillin. It's a bit of an odd choice, but Krillin's new technique, Kaioken, could prove useful if Trunks can somehow learn it. But Trunks also does realize that this form is kinda useless to him, at least right now, since Super Saiyan is a greater multiplier with less stamina drain. The only reason I'm mentioning Kaioken is that this will benefit Krillin mostly, since the use of it will allow him to keep up with Trunks, and Krillin might be able to actually push this multiplier higher and get stronger himself. But mainly, he really has no other option unless he wants to spend a really awkward year with Raditz, since he knows the other three won't head in for another year. However, something strange happens while these guys are training. The others on the lookout sense a strange energy, and they encounter it, finding Cell. The encounter goes pretty routine, except it's not just Piccolo there, and the group now knows about his existence and is worried about him finding the androids. They need to actually find and stop the androids quick, before Cell can get to them. In under a day, Goku, Chi-Chi, and Gohan exit the room, and the difference is quite apparent. Chi-Chi has grown exponentially stronger, and so have Goku and Gohan. The family training was very effective. One thing that everyone picks up on is that Goku and Gohan exit the room in Super Saiyan, and seem to be controlling it particularly well. Oh yeah, they don't have that Saiyan armor this time either, just their normal clothes. Gohan actually has a change of clothes and is wearing the same as his parents. You know, kinda like what he was wearing before and what he's wearing in the BoJack movie. He and Goku have accessed Super Saiyan Grade 4, aka the mastered version of Super Saiyan, and they're now far stronger than before. Chi-Chi, who was behind most of the others before, is now way stronger. Just around the level of base Trunks. Keep in mind, this is base Trunks, not like she's Super Saiyan Trunks level or anything, but this is still impressive. Had she been a Saiyan with Super Saiyan, she would have been one of the strongest characters at this point. The training definitely did pay off, and well, they feel confident enough to actually fight the androids now. They're way beyond their level. You might have noticed I mentioned that they were only in there for under a day, about 8 months in the time chamber. Well, this is particularly due to the food, but also, Gohan already had a little jump start on Super Saiyan, and Gohan getting grade 4 as well as Goku wasn't really too hard since they didn't need to try and train Gohan to get Super Saiyan in the first place. Really, their main goal was to actually get this new form of Super Saiyan, and they got that pretty early on. Plus, they felt their training was enough. Chi-Chi got stronger, they got their new forms, so they decided to just leave early. It's no point staying in there for long. The only other thing they could do is have Gohan and Goku train rigorously in this new form, but they couldn't really do that because that would just be ignoring Chi-Chi and then she'd be stuck in there for another 4 months. Besides, at the moment, they don't really feel it's necessary. They're already far strong enough to face the androids. However, they end up hearing the news of Cell once they're on the lookout, and realize he may be a greater threat than they could have even imagined for the androids. Piccolo and Raditz go in next, with the Sun family and everyone else spending their time searching for the androids. They need to find the androids before Cell, and they have the perfect bait, Goku. However, he's also bait for Cell, so it's a little risky to just have Goku announce his location to the androids. So they just decide to search like normal, and if Goku ends up being good bait, well, so be it. They'll actually be able to use that in their favor. But they're not having any luck at all, and it's worrying because if they don't find the androids soon, Cell will, and who knows what'll happen then. A day goes by and Raditz and Piccolo join the search, Raditz now having mastered Super Saiyan as well. Piccolo is far stronger than before, but nothing too exceptional since he doesn't have Nail or Kami merge with him. But for Raditz, he got the new form, but he didn't really get too much stronger from this training, cause Piccolo is a lot weaker than he was. I mean sure, getting mastered Super Saiyan is great, but he also didn't get to train his base form along with it and get stronger just by himself, so it's kind of a drawback here, and this will bite him in the ass later. Trunks and Krillin are now in the Room of Spirit and Time, and the group continues looking for the androids. Unluckily for them, their fears are realized. In the distance, the Z-Fighter senses a sudden surge in power, followed by a massive explosion. Yeah, this obviously doesn't look good. That's never really a good sign. They arrive and they find exactly what they were hoping wouldn't happen. Cell got the jump on the androids and was able to absorb 17, and proceeded to fight 16 while 18 tried to escape. However, he was able to outmaneuver the two and dismember 16 while grabbing 18, who he just absorbed. 16 attempted to fight Cell, but it was no use, and that explosion was Cell just finishing off the robot. Cell then notices Goku, glad to see that there's an audience here to witness his transformation. It's all so perfect. Cell begins to change and is finally in his perfect form. The group was too late. Had they found the androids sooner, they could have stopped them and Cell. Everyone is a little weaker in this timeline. Not by a lot, but it's still noticeable. So while Goku or Gohan in the original story may have been able to take on Cell right now and have a somewhat even fight, it's not really worth the risk in this timeline. Well, it's fine. Goku can just instant transmission out of there and be safe, right? Nope. Goku never went to Yardrat in this scenario, so I feel it's worth mentioning that he lacks this technique now. It'll have consequences later on, not that it really matters right now. Well, yeah, they think they're pretty much dead right now seeing Cell right there. But Cell is actually kinda amused. He can feel that he's perfect now and the power is amazing. So much so that it might make this fight with Goku boring. He could just kill Goku on the spot right now like he wanted, but that's not gonna be fun. He smirks, acknowledging his superiority. He turns to the present Z-Fighters. 3 days. What? I'll give you all 3 days to prepare and face me. I want to have a little fun with this newfound power, so I'll be announcing the Cell games. What are you talking about, Cell? Tune into my Twitch channel later tonight for more details, and don't forget to join my free gift card giveaway. Cell flies off as he prepares to make his announcement, leaving the Z-Fighters in shock. This time, the Cell games are happening, but the group has much less time to prepare. Given that Goku and Gohan are just underneath the level that they were in canon, Cell feels that they're already strong enough and that 3 days is more than enough time for them to prepare. That's right, 3 days instead of 10. This is a big issue though. Together, Goku, Gohan, and Raditz might be able to take on Cell a little bit, but it's not certain. Goku and Gohan are weaker here like I said, and Raditz might have the new Super Saiyan form down, but he doesn't really have the power to back it up. This is all because they underestimated their enemies, and while training with Chi-Chi greatly benefited her, it meant Goku and Gohan didn't get as much time to train together. Plus the fact that they didn't realize that Cell would be this big of a threat. They thought the power that they got would be just enough because they only knew that the androids were out there. Just like Raditz, they accessed Super Saiyan grade 4, but they got less higher levels of training this time, since they also focus on training with Chi-Chi. So they're falling behind now and realizing that they might have gotten too overconfident. Maybe if they had extra training, they'd be enough to defeat Cell, But they shouldn't have left early, because this version of Cell is too much. The group returns to the lookout for now, seeing no other option. Raditz feels a little guilt too. He should have just trained with Trunks, and maybe he'd be stronger, as well as Trunks being stronger too. Raditz decides that he's going in for another year. And Trunks and Krillin actually exit the Room of Spirit in time early, and as soon as Trunks exits, Raditz pulls him back in there before Trunks could even say anything. The two of them will just have to suck it up. The awkwardness and the tension between them doesn't really matter when the Earth is at stake. They slacked off before, and now they're paying the price, so it's time to head in the Room of Spirit in time again. I might as well mention it now, but the training wasn't nearly as effective for Trunks. He got stronger, but not as much as he could have gotten. He made a huge miscalculation, and really, this year of training was only beneficial for Krillin, who increased his multiplier of Kaioken all the way up to times 50, which is on par with Super Saiyan, but he can't use it for a while due to the stamina drain. He's really only good with times 20 right now. And actually, it wasn't even a year of training. They left early like Goku and Gohan, but this time, they only left after 6 months, since they didn't feel this training was effective for either of them. And Krillin felt like he was holding Trunks back, and suggested that he should just train with Raditz instead. Well, it looks like that's happening now. The two of them begin to get along after about a month, and initially, it's very odd. You might also be asking, and have Krillin train with Piccolo? Well, consider how it feels for these two characters. First of all, they initially didn't think that such rigorous training was necessary after seeing how far Goku and Gohan got with only 8 months and how they were able to surpass the androids. They didn't know about Cell at this point. But also, just look at it from Trunks' perspective. In this timeline, Raditz killed Trunks' dad and then beefed his mom. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Of course, Trunks is going to feel odd about that. On top of that, Raditz caused Goku to die in Trunks' timeline and never reformed as a person, so Trunks isn't very keen on trusting him yet. On the other hand, Raditz feels weird too just because, well, this version of Trunks is from a timeline where Raditz dies, Vegeta completely brushes it off, and then beefs his wife. There's a lot of disrespect being felt here, and it feels like Vegeta's just coming back from the grave to torment Raditz. But that doesn't matter. They need to put that aside and just work on training together. Luckily, the two of them both have something to offer. On one hand, Raditz has mastered Super Saiyan so he can teach that to Trunks, while Trunks will act as an effective training partner for Raditz. This training will definitely be beneficially mutual, since now Trunks can finally master Super Saiyan, and Raditz can become much stronger with an extra year of training and surpass his brother and potentially Cell. You might also be asking, didn't Trunks learn Kaioken from Krillin? And couldn't he just teach it to Raditz? Well, yeah, he kinda learned the fundamentals of it, but like I said before, it's not really that useful for him. It doesn't feel like a technique he's gonna use a lot in the future, because the multiplier isn't that great, and also there's a huge stamina drain from it. That's why I didn't even want to cover it in the first place and say that Trunks just flat out learned it, because it would be kinda useless for him to actually do that. That's part of the reason he also left early, because he realized that going in with Krillin wasn't really that great of an idea. He should focus on Super Saiyan rather than some other technique that won't even benefit him that much. And I mean, yeah, he could try and stack it on top of Super Saiyan, but that would probably end up killing him, especially since he's so new to using Kaioken. It's kinda like the Super Saiyan Grade 3 situation, where they realize the form is powerful, like Super Kaioken would be, but it's just not worth using in battle. And of course, Kaioken's kinda useless for him because Super Saiyan's a better multiplier and it has less stamina drain. Well, enough talk about that. After the day passes, they exit and Raditz is excessively confident now. Raditz has surpassed his brother with this training. In his perfective Super Saiyan form, he's just a little bit stronger than Goku now, and he's actually close to the level of Perfect Cell. Now he's not far behind his brother and nephew. This training has been very sporadic so far. The Sun family was only in for about 8 months, Raditz was in with Piccolo for a year, Trunks was in with Krillin for 6 months, and now Trunks was in with Raditz for a year. Having regret for slacking off, and seeing how strong Raditz became with his effective training, Chi-Chi suggests that Goku should go back in for a few more months with Gohan alone. Not only would it be good training, but it would be some good father-son bonding time. Not to mention, she feels like it would be better for them to train right now and worry about catching her up to speed later. Plus, she also has Goten at home who she hasn't seen in a while, and she can't just be away from her new child for this whole time. Goku and Gohan don't really want to torture themselves with another full year of training, so they decide to just make up for the time that they left early and just go in for a few more hours or months, which ends up being about 4 months or 8 hours. Mr. Popo is getting tired of all this nonsense. Stocking the room with food, people leaving early, just make up your mind already. He should just take care of Cell himself so he doesn't have to deal with this nonsense, but Kami doesn't really mind. Anyways, Goku and Gohan now exit stronger than before, and the group feels confident to take on Cell. With just over a day until the Cell games, they decide to rest up beforehand and coordinate. the Sun family takes this day to have a family feast, with everyone joining. It's nice to have this nice peaceful moment since they haven't had it in a while. Goku, Gohan, and Chi-Chi get to spend time with Goten, which they haven't in a while, so they don't have to worry about saving Earth anymore just for this brief period of time. I mean, obviously they will tomorrow. And obviously, the rest of the Z-Fighters get to enjoy this peacetime as well, kinda like they had before Frieza's arrival. It's crazy how it all went to shit so quickly. This short peacetime passes, and the Day of Fate is now here. That's where we'll leave off for now. So what did you guys think about this part, and what do you think will happen in the next part? Be sure to comment your thoughts and suggestions below. I'll be sure to take a look at what everyone's saying. And as always, if you liked the video, remember to drop a like, and subscribe if you haven't already, as well as hitting the bell icon for notifications about future parts of this What If, or any other videos I make in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.